So it's the D-Day. That's my little boo-boo maiden. I lifted it up a bit and I reduced the PID to 3.7, roughly 3.6, and TPA of 0.51. So let's give it a go. Okay, level off, let's give it a little spin. Yeah, she has a punch. First crash. I'm not used to flying loss anymore. all FPV, I hit the tree sideways, so it's like you got this first christening, you got this first crash. So here it is. Does that look big for a Mini? It does probably, but no it's not. Look at this way. It's only 22 millimeters in width. So the idea of that one was like I cannot stack the components one on top on each other, but it's still gonna be some air drag. So if I'll stack them vertical, there's gonna be less air drag, because the only air drag area is this one. I was aiming for speed. So the distance is 215 millimeters motor to motor across. All up flying weight, I have, was something 400 grams that I checked. I have here 405 grams. Good, that's 1.4 amp 3 cell battery. I don't know the flying time. I'm not chasing after these anymore. I'm looking for an excess power, and the motors, they give a lot of power, like more than enough. So my tilt is a 10-degree tilt inwards for stability, for better stability on a pitch. Plus it gives me a better yaw. Like I had to reverse all the motors rotation for the yaw to walk correctly. So the torque helps, not the fight, not fighting with the copter. So I have my 10-degree tilt inwards. I also have my 25-degree tilt forward for a speed. Like this is narrow, so probably there was no need for a tilt, but still, what I've noticed on my maiden flight that the cruising speed, it's much faster than my normal quads or something with a similar overpowered. So basically, when the cruising speed, it does cruise a little bit tilted forward. When I was trying to get the full speed like this bloody Norway around, it goes nearly like this anyway, so there's still bloody air drag. Anyway, the motors I have here, RCX 1806 2400 kV. Really happy with these motors. There's a nice and neat winding. All the CNC machining is good, and like so far thumbs up. We'll see what's the bearing gonna be like. Afro 12 amp ultralight ESCs V3, I think, in there. There's my Frisky RX. Inside there's a tiny 1 amp UBEC. I have immersion C600 milliwatt VTX. Inside in there there's a buzzer that activates when the last of the PWM signal, which is connected to my Afro Mini 32, which is stuck in the camera. Is the Mini PZ, the popular PZ 600 TV Lines camera. My combat stainless steel CP. Another thing what I did, like I had a previous cases when I had a jumped out battery, so I did a little plate on top with the lip at the back, so the battery won't be sliding off. There's a Velcro underneath the battery and there's a Velcro strap in there, so I'll have to fix this one. Right, so there's my little boo-boo. I still have to tune it, because on the Maiden I just only lowered PIDs and that's it. Nothing. No rates, no Ds, no Is, nothing. So from the video that will be at the very end of this video, I will basically just mooching around a few batteries and that's it. So if you want to see the DVR footage from the Fat Shark Dominator HDs, check at the very back of the video. And if you want to see the building process, stay with me. You still here? Okay, well, let's go then. It's gonna be my biggest 3D puzzle I ever done. So got all my gear in, everything literally drawing around the gear. That's my Afro Mini, Frisky, Immersion RC. I got my ESCs. Well, hopefully I will squeeze everything in. I'm gonna try these new motors that I got. Is the RCX 1806 2400 kV. These are well, they claim that the good quality and the windings are very good in there, and I can see this blob and the blue paste, so it's kind of balanced. We'll see what they're gonna be like. So on that frame I'm gonna have a inwards tilt around 7 to 10 degrees and forward tilt of around 25 degrees. So we'll see how will that go. Starting of course pencil and a ruler. All my on the sticky paper ready to go on the fiberglass for cutting now. We'll see how will that get on. Right, so let's start mooching my frets up. So I got the rough shapes cut and I didn't even peel the stickers. I wanna check it first to test fit which way would I have to recut one of the or two parts. So okay, now this has to go in a very specific way, otherwise won't be able to squeeze in any other part in. That one goes here, and this one goes here. Looks about right. Okay, that one's there. Well, I hope I didn't screw up. I'm having nearly weeks of brainstorming. As long as they close to the fit, it'll do grand, because I'll refine the parts later. Okay, that one's... You can see that everything has to be connected, otherwise it will not be as strong. And this one goes in here. Where that one goes? In there. There's gonna be two of these. The separating ESCs in here. This part I'll refine it to fit in there, so that's good. I ain't gonna need actually this one, because the way I planned to design it first, the battery just slots in and it's all encased shit, but I left it there, so it'll be alright. The battery will be just on a strap. So here's what they're gonna look like. There's my tube goes in there. Nice and sleek. Right, so everything fits. So I'll finish cutting all these parts refine the side plate, and then trace it onto fiberglass and cut another one exactly same for the other side. And after that we will check how all of my gear will fit in there. I got these shapes cut out, like there's still one plate is missing. Now let's check whether my gear will fit in there. It's still not glued. Okay, cam will do. That's my RX. That one fit in there as well. This is what I'm concerned about. The frame will be assembled. I will have to squeeze everything in just about right. Yeah. ESC is gonna be tight. I'll desolder this and I'll put them the other way around. But still, in this area I have to squeeze 4 ESCs and the power wiring. So Afro Mini will be hanging around in here. It looks like we're good to go. Right, so much for now. I got my frame all cut and done and put together and tacked only little spots of glue, because I'll explain you later with the tubes. So before I go any further, I made this little jig for the tubes, because my tilt inwards will be 10 degrees. So I just kind of made a little drawing, see where my tilt, what's the angles are and the distance, so I can shape them to fit square. Because if I will try to shape them, if I will try to get the little angle on the tube like manually, I will lose either one or the other bit. So this way I have a perfect geometry between two motors. Now when that one will be done, then I'll squeeze the tubes in, and then after I cut the motor mounts and glue the motor mounts on, wrap them with a fishing line, as I always do with these one. And after that is done, only then I'm gonna glue the frame together, because I left here a tiny bit of a slop, like on purpose. So it is because I'm bloody anal about the geometry between the motors. So if you're handcrafting manually, no matter how precise you are, you're still gonna, if you're gonna lose fraction of a mil there or there or there, like at the end points from motor to motor, there might be even a 5 mil or whatever. Well, depends on. Anyway, it's not that important, but it's still, like, every little counts for me anyway. So let's check up on the weight first now. Now, the best I could get, one of my minis, I had around 60 grams of a bare frame. And that was naked frame. I have here 77 grams already, and it's still not over yet. There will be some beads of epoxy plus the motor mounts. There will be triple motor mounts actually, because the double fiberglass doesn't hold on very well. Right, so let's get some more work done. I'll show you the progress later. Got my motor mounts done and got everything screwed on. So as long as the tube was cut a little bit, I got a little bead of epoxy on the inside where the motor mount meets the tube. So wrapped around my line, the braided fishing line, squeezed through. Then I got another motor mount done. When I had that one done, then I had to get everything. I have to get everything clamped together so it doesn't move. So I can get my geometry right. So just trusting my eyes. I'm good enough with the geometry here. Make sure it's my 25 tilt degree forward, and also with the ruler, like checking the twist, checking the distance, and basically overall check now with these clamped, they barely move. After that was clamped, I glued everything on. Also got little dots, bits and pieces. So it's basically the frame now is assembled. What is left to do, I'll go through the joints with the 10 CA, which is soaks in every single little gap, whatever there is, and then after that dries, tape it one side, flip it over, and go with the standard CA over. Put the little bead over the joints. When that one's done, I'll sand a little bit here and then wrap around some more line, and it will be good for painting and start installing my electronics. I got my frame finished completely, got the tubes wrapped around in here, wrapped around, all my claws are done, and the whole lot. Right, so now the moment of truth. What will I have here? I know it's not gonna be one of my lightest frames, but we'll see. 102 grams. So there will be brace in here. So let's say 110 grams. Not that impressed with myself, but it should do. I could squeeze in a frame within 60 grams, but has to do. Right, so while I was doing the frame, got my gear ready, soldered my VTX solder on everything. This is the D4 to D4 R2D2 frisky receiver, doesn't matter. Everything will be soldered directly, as well as the ESCs, the Afro Light 12 amps. I got them shredded. Once I got shredded the motor wires in there, then I will start all the soldering. After I solder, then I put the heat shrink on. Right, so let's move on the electronics. I'm in my wiring process now. Now this is a bit of a mess, like probably the most neat job that I've ever done on a Coptus. So I got my VTX in and threaded all soldered. So I'm doing the positive now. What I'm doing here is getting with the zip ties, and then I take the silicone off and then soak it in, and with a 100-watt iron I'm gonna get in. So there's my VTX on. Inside there's a little tiny UBEC 1 amp. Also my A2 port from the Frisky receiver for my telemetry. That's my UBEC coming out. There's gonna be NASA 32. After I solder it, I'll glue it on, and pretty much let's get the mess in. So after I do all this, get the wires on the line on the sides, and hopefully I will be able to squeeze that one in. It's tight in here. Right, so let's get it done, and we're done. Squeezed everything in. All is nice and tight. Finished. There's gonna be there's my camera brace in there and the frame brace as well. So I had a oval shaped holes in there, so I can tilt my camera up and down. So the hover like as my tilted 25 degrees forward, the hover position is this way, and as I like my camera roughly 5 to 10 degrees tilted up, so my camera is up from the hover position, and I can adjust the camera. I can adjust the camera to tilt up to 20 degrees upwards. Also, I made a plate for the battery nut to slip out, so it'll be rock solid. Right, so this boo-boo is after Maiden, so have a check from the Dominate HD's DVR footage after this one. Right, so see you next. Bye bye.